So in this session, we'll see how to group, how to create hierarchies, and we'll see how we can use this page navigations. The page navigation means we can do it in two different ways. One is by bookmarks, another one is by page navigations. But keep in mind, page navigations are available only in the newer versions. So you don't have that in the older version. Suppose if you don't have the newer version, just go to website and download and then install it. It is freely available, so you don't have to bother. Right. So first we'll see how we can group the values in a column. Let's take any of the columns. Let's say we'll take this subcategory only. We'll take one sheet, take this subcategory, and we'll see what all values are there in the subcategory. I'll just quickly increase the font size. Go to this values. Let's make it 20. Fine. So here I can see some values. Actually, these can be grouped by this category. If you go here to category and if we take this, so here I have this category. Now if you say this, all these subcategories are grouped by all these subcategories are grouped by these categories which are available. Say appliance, art, binders or something. So all these come under this office supplies. So we can also sort it. Let's say sort this. So if you see this, see all these come under one category. This art supplies or whatever. That means they are all grouped. Suppose if you want to get the values or say aggregated values for office supplies, so I'll directly take this one. So this grouping has been done in the data itself, but I want to do a grouping such a way that after getting this, after getting the data, then I have to group these columns depending on some other requirements. In that case, what I can do is I can go here, select that column, say subcategory. Here I'll get these three dots, click on this, or you can right click. Here we have something called as new group. Let me just click on this new group. I'll get one window wherein I'll get all the values whatever are there in the subcategory, like this. Now if you see this, it will create one name saying that subcategory groups, and here for text I'll be getting this list, and all the values in that column, that is unique values, will be listed down here. Now I can select and I can create a group here. That means a separate column will be created. Let me select accessories, appliances, chairs, copiers. All these are from different categories actually. So I'm just selecting this by holding control, say group. All this will come under one group. Let me make it as subcat1. Now the rest I can also create one more group. Let me just minimize this. Let me go here, say I'll select few more and I'll create one more group. Say subcat2. Now I created two different categories. Now if you think that I want to add some more items or say values to this category, so what I have to do is first I have to select this, whichever group I've created, and then select this one. Say go here, select this and select the subcategory and then click on this group. If you're not selecting this, let's say I'm not selecting, now if you click on this group, this bookcases, whatever is there I've selected, that will create another group. See, I'll just select this, select and say group, a new group is created, wherein I'll just say ungroup. If you want to add this to the subcategory 1, select this bookcase, it should be selected, then select the group here, the group and member, and then say group, so that will get added here. If you say this, I created subcategory 1, subcategory 2, and if you want all these to be in another now group, so I can just say include other group. Just click on this, all these will be considered as others. All this automatically it will be considered as others. Now if I remove this, the others will go. Right, I created two groups and these are actually not grouped. Now I'll say okay, and that column is called as subcategory. In bracket it is called as groups. It's creating a group. Now let's take this and create a table. If you go and check this, see, I have a different icon here, say something like a box here. So this is actually subcategory group. If you want, you can rename this as well. Now let me take this. I'll say select this, and you can see here. Let me just increase the font size. See, right. Now if we go and check this, say that art, fasteners, or whatever were there, so all those will be under one group, and here this subcategory 1, subcategory 2 will be a total group. So in this we have few more values. Now if you go to this, if you want to filter, say, let me just select this. If you go here, so it will be like another column, like what we have. We'll drag and drop the columns. Similarly, this will be also another column. If you go here, see all the options, whatever is there in the column, I'll get here. And here I have the filters as well. If you see here, click on this. Now I'll get only those values which are there along with that groups. See, this is grouped here. So if I click on this, I'll get only that particular group. So I cannot go and filter the individual values which are inside this. It is something like this category. So here also we have multiple values, say subcategories grouped under furniture or say office supplies. So if I select office supplies, that means all these are included in this. Similarly, I'm creating a group here as well. So subcategory 1 will include so many other subcategory values. Now let's go here and I'll take this subcategory. This subcategory, the main column, I'll just drag and drop it below this. If you see here, just increase. Now if you go and check this, say this accessories, appliances and all, they are coming under subcategory 1. But actually these are of different categories. If you go and check here, say appliances, here is an office supplies. Accessories come under technology. But I want to group this for some requirements. So I was able to group this. Now let me take this category also, and if I drag and if I drop it here, now if you say this, see, here we have this furnitures, accessories, it's technology, and for that what is the grouped value. So like this, we'll just categorize. So this is how I can group the text. So I can just go here, select and say, sorry, edit group. Which one is that? Just select this one, the group which you have created, and say edit groups. Now I'll come back here. See, now I can select this, and if you want to remove any of these, any of these items, I can just select and say ungroup. So it will come out of the group. So that will also get refreshed in this table as well. So if you want to remove the entire group itself, select this and say ungroup. The entire group will get removed. So this is a kind of grouping what I can do using text. All right, let's go and see how we can create group on a number column. Just take one more page. Let's take the sales. Here I have the sales. Now the grouping of numbers is a different kind because the numbers can be aggregated or it can be grouped in a different way, not like the text. In text, what I have a list. Let me go here and I'll click on this and I'll say new group. And if you see here, I'll get something called as bin. Bin is nothing but like a buckets. I'm trying to create a buckets. Sometimes you have to create something called as histograms. Say the categorized charts. Categorized charts in the sense, say for example, I have age of, say I have some patient's data wherein the patient's age can be from 0 to 100. Now I need to know the count. Say from 0 to 10, say 0 years to 10 years, how many patients are there? So there in the data, what will happen is it will have the age, say a person one, say patient one, age is 10, say patient 2, say age is 45. So likewise I'll be having so many line items. So in that case, if you want to categorize based on the age, then I can use this bins, that is to create the histogram chart. So what this bins will do, it will bucket the values based on the bin size what I specify. That means I'm trying to group it. Here keep in mind we are not aggregating it. Aggregating means it is adding, but grouping means it is categorizing. Now let's go here, say I can give any name here. Let's keep it as default name, say sales bins. Here it says group tab, let it be bin. I can also take it as list, like what I do for text. If I click on this list, I'll get a list of values here like this. Like this also I can group. So these can be grouped, say when I have this postal codes or say mobile numbers. In that case I can go here and I can take this list, because mobile numbers, you cannot categorize it like this, because that is actually considered as the say dimensional. It's not a measure, it's not a value which can be aggregated. So there are few columns, though they are numbers, they should not be aggregated. So in this case what I'll do, I'll go here and say bin. It asks for size of bins, number of bins. Here I can group it by size of bins, means I can specify the range of the bin, say 0 to 10. Similarly, otherwise I can specify how many bins I need. Now if I go here, by default I'll get the number of bins here. Say size of bins, it is saying 426.8 something, so it will take some value, the default value, and it will give. Let's go here, I'll make it as 500, and if I say okay, a separate grouped column will be created. Here we can say this sales bins. Now this is actually not a value, this is something like a label. Let me just click on this, I'll get one visualization like this. Now let's take this sales, I'll just click on this sales, I'll get a chart like this. This is histogram chart. So here you can see 0 to 500, 501 to 1000. So it goes on like this. So the values which are there accordingly, that will be grouped. Let me change this size. I'll click on this and I'll say edit groups. Let me change this to 1000 now. I'll say instead of 500, I'll say 1000. I'll say okay. Now the number of bins will change here. Means the number of categories will change. Now you can see it, now it becomes 0 to 1000, 1000 to 2000, say 2000 to 3000, something like that. So this is how you can categorize, group a number column as well. Let's see how can group this by size of the bins. Say number of bins. Now what is our size of the bins? Let me click on this new group and let me click on this and I'll say number of bins. Now I can specify, say I want number of bins to be say 20. So what it will do, it will go and it will check what is the bin size I can use. Say I want just 10. Go here and click see. Automatically it will calculate, it will give me. Now if I say 5, see, like this. Let's say okay. This is by bin count, the number of bins I need. So it will create one more column here. Should have given a different name here. I think it is replacing. It replaced actually. Yeah, created a new one. Let me just minimize this and I'll create one more in here. I'll say 2, and then we'll take this sales. See, it is creating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 bins here. I've given the size of, say, the number of bins here. So here I've given the size. So based on that size, I'm getting the results here. All right. So this is for grouping numbers. Let me just name this group numbers. Group text. Next we'll see how we can group dates. Even dates can be grouped. Here I have this order date. Let me click on this. Here to go, say new group. It'll have the same because even date is also considered as number. If you see here, it says bin and list. So I can group the dates by list as well. Otherwise, we'll say bin. Usually, we'll take it as bin. And if you see here, it'll say minimum value of the date and maximum value of the date in the current data. Okay, whatever data I have imported here, so it'll take the minimum date and the maximum date value. Coming to this bin size, it'll ask, so based on months, days, years, whatever you want, you can create. So if I say years, it'll ask for how many years I need to group it. If I go here, say month, if I say 1, that means month wise it is actually grouping. Let me take this as 3 months. So 3 months once it has to group. Now let me just click on this OK. A separate column will be created, which is order date bins. And this one, let me take this, and then I'll take the sales value itself. Let's increase the font size. See, January, February, March, one group, April, May, June. So likewise it goes on. That means every 3 months it is actually trying to group the values. Sometimes if you think that you want to have some quarterly data, you can group it like this as well. Or I cannot always say it is only quarter. So you can have say 5 months group or 2 months group, 3 months group, however you want, you can customize it. So this again can be filtered as well. You can go here, see it is any other, it's like any other column. You go here, click on this, you get all the options here. So you can use for filtering as well. The only thing is keep in mind they are grouped, not aggregated. Okay, this is grouping of dates. Let me select as group date. Right, let's click another page. Hierarchy means like we have this organization chart, say CEO, then director, then manager, then say business analyst, then junior analyst, something like that. It's a hierarchy. Or if we take this location, say country, then we have say state, then we have districts, then cities, then area, something like that. So if you want to create something like that, we can use this hierarchy. But for date, automatically we'll have the hierarchy. Let me just click on this date, and let me take this sales, and if you say this, let me reduce this, you can see there are some buttons here which actually takes us to the next hierarchical reports. If you click on this, it will go to next hierarchy, that is quarter. You can see here year, quarter. If you click on this, next it will go to month, then click on this, it will go to day. This is by default, it will be created in date. Now what if I want to do the same thing? Let me delete this. What if I want to do this for the location? Say here, if you want to create some reports, let me go here. I'll take the country. Then let's take the next level is region. The next level is state. Then next level we have city. And then we have postal code. So we should put it here. Region. Then say state. Then say city. Take it as table, and then let me take sales. See, this is the hierarchy. But now I cannot see those buttons and all here. Let's click on this matrix. Then we'll get this hierarchy like this. See the next level. Then I'll go to next level, that is state, and then city. But if I'm creating some reports like this, I'm actually dragging all the columns here one by one, one by one, one by one. Instead, what I can do is I can create a hierarchy and just drag only that hierarchy, all these hierarchy whatever is there at one shot, say at one time we'll get. So how to do that? Let me show you. It's again very easy. It is similar to what grouping we did. Let's go to this country. Here I have this country outside. Select this. Here I have something called as new hierarchy. That's that country. It's getting hidden here, 1 minute. See, here I have this new hierarchy. Okay, again I'll get one hierarchy thing here. See, like this. You can see that hierarchy here like this. And here I have this country. You can see that column. It's just an instance. Instance means it's just like a referring of it. I have one country which is the main column here. It's just a hierarchy. Inside this hierarchy, I have this country. Now I'll go to this region. Let's click on these three buttons and say add to hierarchy. Don't click on new hierarchy. Click on add to hierarchy. Suppose if you think that you want to add to the existing hierarchy, click on this. Now that region will come and sit here. Let me take this city. I can just drag and I can drop it here as well, like this. Just click here. So it will get added here. And then we also have state. So we'll go to the state, click here, and say add hierarchy. I can take this postal code as well. Let me take this postal code and say add hierarchy. Yes. Now my hierarchy is created. You can see this. But here the order is not proper. You say this country, region, city, and state. It should be country, region, state, city, and postal code. Now what I can just drag this and I can rearrange it like this. Right. Now let me go and create the report. I'll just take this one, country hierarchy. If I take this again, it will be like individual columns what I'm dragging and dropping. Now I'll just select this country hierarchy. The entire, whatever this one is there, I can take it here. Let's say, take one table. And then let's click on this. See, all the columns will come here. Now I can take this sales value, whatever. Let's click on this sales. See, I'll get the sales. So automatically all the columns will come in instead of dragging and dropping. Now I'll go to this matrix. I'll get this hierarchy as well here like this. So you don't have to again and again dragging the columns individually. This is called as hierarchy. So whichever columns you want, it's not that it should be always like location only. You can take any columns and you can put it, it will come. But make sure that the hierarchy will be meaningful. Good. So this is grouping and hierarchy. Next one, name it as next one, we'll see how we can create the bookmarks for navigation of the pages. Bookmark means it will help me in creating a bookmark which will help me in navigating between the pages. Let's go here. I have so many pages here. So for every page I'm going on clicking on the pages here. Let's say I have this report 1, report 2, report 3, report 5 or something. Now what we'll do, we'll go here for every sheet, we'll create a bookmark. Say go to view. Here I have something called as bookmarks. Just click on this. Once I click on this, I'll get this bookmark pan. If you want, you can reduce these things. If you think that it's occupying too much of space. Now if you say, make sure that you will be enabled in the page where you are creating the bookmark. Let me say add. When I click on this add, a bookmark is created here. I'll just double click on that, or I can click here and say rename. Here I'll name it as report 1. Then let's go to report 2. I'll say add, double click, say report 2. Here the bookmark name and the page name need not be same. You can give anything. Let me go to this report 3. And then I'll say add, double click, say report 3. Right. So we have created 3 bookmarks. Now what we'll do is we'll create 3 buttons here and try to assign these bookmarks to those buttons. Go here, boom, or say insert. Here I have these buttons. Let me go here and say blank. A blank button is created here. See, let me keep it somewhere here. Just move the slicer this side. This is button 1. I'll tell you how to format this later when you come to these buttons. I'm just trying to assign this. I'll go here, go to this visualization. Now this button is there. Here you have something called as action. Just go to this action and say action on. Here it says type. Click on this. Here I have so many options. Click on this bookmark. Then I'll get this reports what you have created. That is the bookmarks what you have created. Now if I click on this button, it should go to report 2. Let me make one more copy of it. Say Control C. I can say Control V. So one more button will be created. Just keep it just next to that, like this. And here again action. Let's say this should be report 3. This is report 2 and this is report 3. Now let's see whether it will go to that page. Hold Control and just click on this. See, it's going to report 2. Now let's go here. I'll say click on this, it will go to report 3. Similar buttons if I create here, I can take it back to this pages as well. So this is bookmarks. Say just go to that particular sheet and create the bookmarks here. And then we can assign the buttons, or directly you can click on this. Say I'll go to this report 1. See, I'll come to this page. Go to this report 2, you'll go to this page. So report 3. Like this also we can navigate. But suppose if you want to create a button kind of thing, then now in the newer version we have something called as page navigation. For that you don't have to create any of the bookmarks. I'll show you how to create these buttons. Let's go to this region. So we'll use this part now. Let me just take this somewhere below here and I'll just try to reduce this. Right. We'll go to this insert. Here we have something called as text box, buttons, shapes, and image. Let's understand this. These are very important for formatting. Say text box means if you want to add any text box here, say like a label for some of the objects. Say I want to add something here like this, I can add it here. Or if you want to make a kind of banner, so I can just go here and I can use this. Let's say region report. I can increase the font size here. Say Arial black. Select Arial black. Make it center. I'll increase the font size. Say up to 28 like this. Now I want to change the color. Then go to this visualization. Here I have so many options. Here it says background on. That means I can give a background color. Let's say I'll give something like this. See, you can specify the transparency. This I'll tell you when you come to these buttons. Transparency means I can just remove the color like this. So I can give a transparent color like this. Next, you have this general. I can specify the XY position and also the width and height. Okay. Now here is a new option actually, shadow, which is there in the newer version. The older version you don't have this. So I can just click on this. I'll get a shadow effect here. Let me just close this bookmarks. See, I'll get a shadow effect like this. But in the previous version we didn't have this. Now in the newer version we have this shadow effect as well. This is for the text. Let's go and see how we can use these buttons. Buttons are very nice options actually. Now if you go to this left, right, or whatever, let me click on this left, and you can put it anywhere you want. What this left actually will do is, just observe, I'm not done anything here. I'm not assigned any bookmarks or not any pages as well. Let me just go to this report one, and I'll come back to this region. Now hold control and I'll click on this. Okay, sorry, we have to enable the action. I didn't enable the action. Let's enable this action. Now let's go here. I'll click on this. It will take me to the report one. Let me click on this report 4, and again I'll go back to this region. Let me click on this. See, it will take me to the report 4 sheet. That means if I'm enabling this action, so what it will do, the recent page which have been, so it will go back to that particular page. So if you think that you want to do something like that, then you can use this back button. Similarly, I have this right button as well. So this right arrow, so this also will work similar to that. So I'll go here, and you can use this button as well. Here I'll say on action, then I can click on this. But if you want to customize, let me keep this somewhere here. If you want to customize, then I can use more other buttons as well here. Along with that, I have this blank. Click on this blank, I'll get a blank button like this. So I can use this blank button for creating my own kind of buttons here. Now let's go and check this button. I'll just show you some of the formats. Here in this button there are different options as well. You will get more options. When I click on this text, few options only will come. When I click on this button, then I'll get few more options here. When I go to this shape, see here I have these shapes. I take this rectangle, rectangle is created here. I'll just put it just below this. Some people actually use this rectangle for buttons. So I'll tell you what is the difference between this button and the rectangle. Rectangle is just a shape. For this also I can put the action here. For any shapes I can put actions. Let me select this button. You can see some options here. If you click on this shape, see some options will not be there. So what are those options? See here, I have this line, say fill. So I can do all this formatting. But when I go to this button, there are some interesting options here. Let's see this, then you'll understand why we should use buttons only for navigation, not the say shapes. But I'm not telling that you should not use shape, that is your wish, but button is the best way to use for navigation. Here it says button text. If you want to give any text here, I can give the text here. Say I'll go here, let's say I'll just increase this. This is for the text button, say subscribe. Okay, if you see here, I'll get the text here. Now if you want, I can increase the font size. Let's say 20, and let's go here. Here we have this font style, so I'll just change this to Arial. Right, now this shows white color with subscribe with gray color. Let me go here. Here I have something called as default state. That means by default it will be this one. Now I have different options as well. Say hover. Hover means if I move my cursor here, I should get some different color. So what I'll do, when I hover, I'll say that the fill color, this is font color. Okay, let's take this. This is button text only. Let's go to this and we'll change this color to black, or say let it to black. Fine. So I just say I'll move my cursor here. See, it's changing to black. Or if you want, you can also change the fonts. Let me just say when I hover, let the font style be Arial black. Fine. See, when I just move my cursor here, it will just change the font style here. Right. Let me select this. We'll also see how we can fill the color here. See, have this fill color. See, enable this. Now here also we have the same kind of option. Let me go here. I'll say when I say hover, I want this to be something like, say, this orange color. Here you can specify the transparency like this. I'll just make it as 0. Now just move my cursor here. See, now I also have something called as press. When I press, I should get some other color. Let's say when I press, I want this color. See, I'll move my cursor here, press, color is changed like this. You can also change the text here. Let's select button text. Here when I say hover or say press, I want this to be subscribed. See now, see, it will change. So you can do something like this. So there are so many options. Let's go here and we'll quickly just check that. See here I have this background. Suppose if you want to remove the background, sometimes when I move my cursor here, say it becomes white color, something like this. Suppose if I don't want to have the background, you can see that it will become transparent like this. See, so transparent now. So you can do something like this as well. That is removing the background. The next, if you want, you can give the border, then shadow, then again action. That is, if you want to assign a bookmark or anything, you can just go here. But here we have one more option, that is page navigation. So we give this bookmark, I'll say page navigation. If you scroll down, it will ask for destination. Let's say I want this to be navigated to state. And you can also observe one thing here. I'm not getting this region because the button will not assign the page for the same page which I've created this button. So here I'll not get this. See, I'll say state. Now let me go here. I'll hold control, click on this, it will take me to state. This is text button what we have created. Let's go here. We'll see how we can put image in this. That is icon. Let me select. I have something called as icon here, and here it says blank. Click on this. If you want a left arrow, you can click here. I'll get the left arrow. I want right arrow, I'll get the right arrow. So whatever shapes I want, I can select here. These are default icons what we have. What if I want to have a customized, say, say icons? Let's see that how we can do. Let me just reduce this. I'll just create 3 buttons here. And again, I'm telling you, you can use any of this, so that is left to you. So all will work similarly. Let me go to this button and I'll take this blank. Here I'll have this button. This I can create some button like this. This is what we saw, but I want an image, that is a different icon. So in that case, what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll say image, and here I've just copied and pasted, or I downloaded some icons here. Let me take some icons here. So icon 1, reduce this, then I'll say 2, let's keep it somewhere here, and take icon 3. See, there are 3 icons. But there was one option, purposely I didn't show you, mention that. Here we have something called as aspect ratio. That is aspect, log aspect. Now when I'm actually reducing this, see, the image, I can reduce however I want. Even the chart also, if you go here, the chart, see, I can reduce like this, so however I want. But you have something called as log aspect. If you do this, see, you cannot, however you want, you cannot resize. See, it will go like this with a symmetric size like this. See, like this. So what I was trying to tell you is, if you think that you want to have the same size all the side, then you can use this log aspect. Fine, let me select this. So quickly, if you want to have the same size for all this, we'll go to this general. Here I have this width and height. Let me make it as 100, and here I'll make it as 100. I got one size here like this. Same thing, let me select this. I can specify 100 and say 100. Select this 100 and say 100. See, all 3 buttons, all 3 images becomes similar size now. We keep it here. select this, just keep this also here. You can see that it is just, placing it properly. Select this, I can place it. Right. So this becomes a button now. Now select this, I can go here, I can say action, and I can assign the pages or something like this. Say action and say page navigation, and here I can select the page. Let's say I want to go to region. Now hold control and then click on this. This will take me to the region. But here we'll not have that hover or whatever we had given. So those things will not be available here. Select this, go to this, see, I'll go to any of this. So nowhere I'll get the option of giving that colors or something. For that, if you want to do, also what you can do is there is a trick for that. What we'll do is first take the image, resize it and place it. Then take the button, blank button, take this. Now I'm just telling you the trick wherein you can have the colors as well. When I move my cursor, the color should change. So for that, I'm just telling you. Just keep the size 100 and height also 100. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll go here. See, here I have all the options for the button what we created. Let's say fill. I'll go and I'll select this. When you set default state, what you do is I'll take this white color, just place it on this and see whether it is coming properly. See, I'm not able to see that image at all. So don't worry. So for that, what I have to do is here the background will say off. I can say this. I'm able to see that image here. That is because I'm seeing little blur. Go to this fill, it says 50% transparency. Let me make it 0 or say 100%. See, I'm getting a proper image here. But next what I'll do, go here, say fill. When I say hover, when I move my cursor there, I'll select a different color. And let me make it say 50%. Now just observe, I'll move my cursor here. See, when I press, I want some other color. Select this, go to this fill and say press. You can select a different color. Let's say I'll select some other color. I'm just selecting a random color. So depending on your template, you please select the color. I'll make it as 50%. Let me make it 50%. Now let me move my cursor here. I'll get one color. If I press, I'll get one color. If you want the same options for these things as well, you can copy this. You can paste it and you can move it here like this. We select, put it here. See, now if you move my cursor here, I'll have something like this. If I don't want the border, you can select these buttons and we'll go to this border. Don't have this border, we'll go here somewhere, we'll have this outline, remove this outline. Yeah. See, now it looks like an image, but when you move your cursor, see. And if you want to assign the pages, you can go here, select this action, and then I'll say page navigation and select which page you want to navigate. Let's say I want to go to category. Select this. If I click on this action, then we'll take some page navigation. Let's take say region. Now let me just hold control and click on this. It will take me to the category page. Let's go back. Select this, click on this, go to region page. Now what you can do, just select all this, copy this and paste it in whichever sheet you're trying to navigate. Just move this here, paste it. See, I'm getting this. So likewise, you can create the buttons which can be very nice for navigating. But again, this page navigation what I showed, that is not available in older version. So please download the new version and work on that. So this is for today's topic.